About 5 years ago, I moved into the Uinta Basin with my mom and little brother. My mom got a job offer at Red Pine Treatment Center on the Ute Reservation. We moved out around July, August time in 2008, but we still went back to Salt Lake every single weekend. While in the process of moving, I thought of all the things I will miss. Friends, family, and just the feeling of being in the city. But then I thought about how good experience would be. When school time came around, I went to Roosevelt Junior High. I started to like it, but then I started to encounter racism, discrimination, and if you were not a part of a social class, you were just tossed aside. This was very strange for me because I had never encountered this when I lived out in Salt Lake. Most of my friends were of different races: black, white, Hispanic, and Asian. This was very confusing for me. I started to think, was it the way I looked? Was it the way I dressed, smelled, talked? I had all these negative thoughts in my head. I started to do bad in school. I neglected my duties as an older brother and my traditions, and I became very selfish. My family started to get mad and upset with me. Within October through March, I lost 2 great-grandmothers. I was very close to both of them. In my mind, I didn't want to do anything. Mentally, I just gave up. I showed up late to school every day, and I basically put no effort into my schooling. But there was one class that I loved ever since I started the year at the school. It was my percussion class. Just the feeling of doing music every single day was awesome. That was the only class I would put my all in. So from the class, I officially became a drummer. School ended, but I left a month early. I went to my dad's house for the summer, and he mostly lectured me, most of the time. I hated it, and with me feeling like crap and nobody comforting me, I just felt alone. I would listen to Megadeth, Metallica, and Judas Priest, but I remember gassing up with my dad in the summer on the Navajo reservation. I remember hearing on satellite radio Municipal Waste Wrong Answer and Evile's Thrasher. When I was listening to it, I just felt this rush of adrenaline. I fell in love with the sound, the heaviness, the aggression, the speed and the power. I loved the feeling it gave me, a feeling that I could do anything. Later on that summer, I researched it and found out about so many bands. When school came back around, I went to Eagle View for 8th grade. Most of the natives were there, and because there was no social groups, I just felt accepted. And the feeling I have when I listen to thrash metal gave me the confidence to do anything. It gave me the confidence to socialize, exercise, and do better in school. Then in October, I got my first drum kit. It was a brand name that didn't exist anymore, but I loved it. In September, I went to my first concert. It was Blink-182. It was a sick show. I just loved the vibe and the feeling. A month later, I went to my first metal concert. It was with my longtime friend and family member, my Uncle Bobby. He has been with me ever since I was little. We went to go see Mastodon and Death Clock. I thought it was amazing and talking to some awesome people who have the same interest in music as I do, and such positive energy. I went to concerts with him over the years and making lots of connections with people and musicians. A few years have passed. We went to go see Judas Priest. It was the last show I went to go see with him. A week later, he had a stroke at my cousin's show. A week later, he was put into a coma. He didn't wake up a week later. He had diabetes and high blood pressure. He hated it, and he gave up. He gave up and he wanted to die. He finally passed away in January in 2012. I felt this feeling when he passed, that he wouldn't have to suffer anymore. With the medications and dialysis, I thought of all the good times that we had. Metal made me a stronger person.